Hi everyone. My presentation today will be on St. Lambus Church, which is located in Münster, Germany, which is actually my hometown where I'm originally from. So right here you can see a picture of the church, and now just a little bit in general about the church. So it's a Roman Catholic church, which Catholicism, besides Protestants, is the main religion in Germany in medieval periods as well as today. And the church is located in the center of the city, in the so-called Prinzipalmarkt. It's at its north edge, which it was used and still is today used as a market square. And the church was built in the late Gothic style, so it's actually a vaulted hall church, which was very common for German Gothic churches. And therefore it's very spacious and it has very large stained glass windows. The church is named after Lambert von Lüttich, who was actually the bishop of Maastricht. He was the bishop of Maastricht, and he was actually spoken holy at his time and named the city patron later on, so he was a very important city symbol. Now a little bit about the history of the church. So in 1270, the first church was actually built on the site of the current church, and it was also a Gothic style church. It was a 3-nave church, and the tower was actually 40 meters high. However, later on this church got destructed, and the foundations of the current church were first started and established in 1375, and the original construction process actually lasted until 1525. The purpose of the church was as a market church and city church, because merchants actually funded the church, so it would drive more people into the city, so they would have more business. So from 1422 to 1450, the choir and the choir chapel, which was an octagonal shape, were constructed. The nave was built in several steps starting from 1450, and it actually had 3 main doorways, of which the south doorway is known for the famous relief sculpture of the Tree of Jesse, which I will show in some of the later slides. And actually, so in 1888, the old tower, it was starting to become a danger of falling down. So they would argue what to do. Some wanted to preserve the old tower and repair it, but it was actually too dangerous. So they actually ended up taking the tower down and replacing it with a new Gothic style roof. However, in the 1900s, as a result of the Second War, for bombing, as you can see in the picture below, it was destroyed, and as you can see, the whole tower was destroyed, so they had to rebuild it completely, and they actually went with the late Gothic design, the medieval style from the original tower of the church. So now I would like to show you a video of the interior and some of the exterior. So as you can see here, this is the church. I'm going to pause this right here. You can see this is called the Kanzel. In English it's called a pulpit, I think. This is where the priest would preach from at times. And you can see the altar area right here. And then in the back behind it, there's the tabernacle, which in Catholic churches is the place where they actually preserve the holy sacraments that they give off during their mass. you can see the stained glass windows from the outside. And now there's another picture of the inside. You can see all the stained glass windows that are very tall up until the ceiling. And you can see the arch ceiling with the vaults and the columns. Here you can see all the windows again from the outside. And there's a picture of the organs on the back of the choir room. So now this right here, this is what I talked about earlier. This is called the Tree of Jesse. And this is the relief sculpture in the church. And it actually depicts Christ's ancestors. So this on top right here is supposed to be the father of King David, which it all starts with. And this is kind of shaped like a family tree. This is actually a first form of a family tree right here. And it shows the descent of Jesus' family basically in a metaphorical way, as depicted in the Bible. And the original was actually, it was so historically important that they actually placed it in a museum in Berlin, and there was a replica built for the church in Münster. So this is really special for this church. It actually has 3 cages on the top of its tower, which the story behind it is, in 1535, 3 leaders of the Münster Rebellion were actually executed, and after their dead bodies were placed in those cages and then hung up on the church towers as basically a symbol to show the world, to shock them and warn them to not be like them. And after the tower was destroyed during World War II, the cages also fell down and were destroyed. However, they actually reconstructed them to keep up the historical value and keep the story alive, basically. So they put them back up, and now there's a light in each of them to represent the souls that are roaming around the earth. Another thing that's kind of special to this church is the so-called Türme. They actually had a Türme there ever since the church was in place in 1379. A Türme is basically someone who is in charge of, their job is to go at night up the church tower and make sure that everything in the city is okay. And then they actually blow a horn to symbolize, to show that everything's fine. So today this ritual is still going on. So every day of the week, except for Tuesdays from I think 9 to midnight at night, someone, it's the Türme, they go up the tower and make sure everything is okay, and they still blow the horn. And if something is wrong, they play like distracting sounds to like show that something is actually wrong. And in the past, actually, there's been fires before that's been seen this way, and they were able to help. I actually have a video for this one as well, of them blowing the horn, which is right here.
Das Hornblasen. Also alle halbe Stunde.
What was it? So to the significance of the church, I think that it's a very good representation of the Gothic style of architecture. And it's also very fascinating from the inside and out, as from both sides you can see the Gothical elements, and also sculpture work on the outside as well as inside in form of sculptures and relief. And what I also really like, and what I think others, not just locals, tourists, everyone really likes about this church, is its unique attributes, like the cages and the Türme, which really make it unique and a unique piece of Gothical architecture. Thank you.